Oh, I thought we
Oh, I
already
thought
we already started.
I'll probably make this a non-content thing.
Well, speaking of paying, so the other day when I was working at Kroger, this is pretty ridiculous.
This is a good way to start. Good way to start the podcast.
This is my.
What? Oh, here's good. Yeah. A good way to start the podcast with a non-geeky subject.
This is
working at Kroger.
This is my grade A accomplishment of last week. So I was working and I was scanning items as usual because I'm a cashier, and so I had this like.
Get a real job, you offer us.
Fuck you. So this like really cute Asian girl was in my line, and so basically she was like, I scanned all her items and I was like, your total's $150.18. No, yeah, 18 cents. And she's like, I don't have my ID, so is there any way that I could pay for this later and take this home now?
Wait.
Yeah.
What did she buy?
Like on credit or like
she bought a bunch of groceries, like eat this, I'm gonna devour it kind of food.
Like she didn't. It wasn't alcohol, and she said she
No.
She had her.
This
ID.
is like food, like produce and all the normal stuff. And I was like,
So she
what?
had pizza rolls, Doritos, Mountain Dew.
No, this
Three
is
major food groups.
this isn't like Call of Duty at 420, 360 no scope blazing food. This
Oh,
is just
shit.
like
Pizza Lunchables, pizza bagels, five frozen pizzas,
Pizza.
pizza
Pringles.
pizza Pringles, flavor blasted pizza goldfish.
Yes.
pizza flavored everything. I am
Pizza
hungry
is
now.
this is like
Thing.
normal ass food. And
You
she's
just said, okay. Anyway, sorry.
but this is she's
Continue.
like
Fucking ass food. I don't want to hear a story about
fuck
ass
you,
food.
man.
ass food.
This is normal ass food. And she's like, well, can I like? I was like, well, I can suspend this and like you can come back in like 20 minutes or whatever and come back and pay for it later. She's like, well, but I have like ice cream and blah blah blah, so it's gonna get melt.
It's like
I was like, no, I'm gonna like get you brand new ice cream and like not give you old melted stuff. Like that's stupid. Like why would we do that? And she's like, well, I'm really hungry and I kind of want this now. Is like there any other way I can just like take this now and come back? And I was like, no, you can't do that. Like there's no bartering system on the planet that does this.
Yeah,
no-
no, you have to pay now to take this now.
there's no society that allows you to take over $100 worth of food
Like
and just on good faith
She
come
didn't
back.
have a credit card
like
or
she
anything?
left it at home.
The only way I
Okay.
could see that is like if you lived in a farming community
and
or
they
something.
knew you.
and
Yeah.
they literally like knew where you lived.
Or if you had an account
I
at
guess
whatever
maybe.
it
Is that
was.
how it works in Indiana? Like if you work in a farming community, they'll just be like,
No,
okay,
only-
That's how it works in where my uncle used to live in Iowa.
Only if it was like probably a locally owned business
Yeah.
where the person who owned the business also worked at the business and it's like, yeah, I know who you are
Yeah.
and your credit's good here, but like your word of mouth credit at a chain multinational
yeah,
chain is
in
worth
Bloomington,
nothing.
Indiana.
Not.
But
Or anywhere. I mean, shit, if there's a fucking Kroger out in the middle of the country, they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
so she kept like asking me all these questions to like what she could do and what she couldn't do, and I kept saying no to all of them because they're all wrong. So she's like, well, is there any way you could pay for it and like so I could leave? And I stopped and like I looked at my line and it just kept getting bigger because it was like students were coming back. So I was like, no, I can't pay for this because I'm on the clock. Like that's like totally breaking the code. I can't pay for things and buy stuff on.
And also, I wouldn't anyway.
Yeah,
What are you talking
it's
about?
like, I'm not gonna pay for your $150.18 order. Like that's dumb. And so she turns around and looks at the guy behind her and asks him to pay for it.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Wait, what?
Yes. And like I just stopped. I just looked at the guy and he's like, okay, and he fucking did it.
No.
Oh my god.
No, he didn't.
Yes.
Really?
Seriously? Yes.
He paid for
He
her?
did it.
$150.
Plus his order, and his order was like $20.
Well,
And
I
I
mean,
was
at
just
least,
like-
I mean, maybe he wouldn't have done it if he had $100 worth of food, but still.
I was like,
what the guy behind
Still,
her
oh
look
my
like?
god.
just a normal dude, just a normal dude. And I
Wait,
was
was he hot?
I don't. He was okay.
Was he
with-
hot, Biafra?
I don't.
Yeah, was he hot?
It just,
Was he?
He's average.
On a scale of 1
Well,
to
like-
the sun, what?
1 to the sun. What? 1 to the sun?
Was he closer to
He
the
was-
sun or closer to 1?
Was he?
Like,
was
like if I
he-
were to judge you, I would say like Mercury.
Was he? Was this guy in the Kuiper Belt? Is what we're saying? Was he in the Kuiper Belt?
1 to the sun.
Yeah, I see you, Brady, over
I
there.
would
I see
say-
you giving me that, like, yeah, that's a solid.
If I were to
solid
look at you,
astronomy
I'd
guy.
say Mercury.
Is that how you pronounce it? I've never known how to pronounce it.
Well, there's the Kuiper Belt and there's the Kepler Belt. There's 2 different belts.
Right.
I've always
I always
heard.
pronounce it the Cooper Belt.
I've always heard the Kuiper Belt.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. Like,
Yeah.
What's now? I forgot his name. Why did I forget his name? It's the guy that Biafra didn't know who he was.
Fucking Barack Obama.
No,
What? Matt Tyson?
Wait,
no,
what?
no, the guy that used to host the Universe or whatever.
Neil
deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse
No,
Tyson.
his
No.
mentor.
Oh,
Carl Sagan.
Carl
yes,
Sagan.
Carl
Carl
Sagan.
Sagan. But yeah, I remember that special episode where Biafra was like, "Who's Carl Sagan?"
Hmm.
Oh no.
Yes.
Yeah, I apologize for how hard we
no.
laid into you.
Oh,
Jerks.
no.
There was some pretty legitimate shunning going on for a minute for me.
Ah, okay.
I was like,
When did you lay into
I can't remember
him? 'Cause you
people
weren't
and their
even there
names.
for that.
Too many.
I was either heard about it or was there.
So anyway, back to the Geekcast.
Welcome, everybody, by the way.
What things
Hi.
that are geeky and or whatnot that we've watched recently
I'm
or want to talk
currently
about?
Looking up a video.
I
on
could
how
talk
to
about
pronounce
Sailor
it.
Moon all day, so if anyone
Haven't
brings
even-
up Sailor Moon,
haven't-
I'm a genius at it.
Speaking of that video on your Facebook of Sailor Moon like dancing. was
Okay,
fucking
what
amazing.
May posted?
Yeah.
So it's some kind of like Vogue face-off is what was happening apparently. I had no idea what that was.
This is like going like cultural boundaries here from
Yeah,
Vogue to Sailor
yeah.
Moon.
So
Yeah.
it's like some kind of like voguing face-off type of thing is happening, but this girl is dressed up as Sailor Moon, and she is voguing against this girl who is dressed up as Wonder Woman. And you don't know
And
who's
it's-
gonna fucking win.
it's
I don't
fucking-
even really know what the competition is, but
When
it's
was
just
this?
voguing.
It's fucking amazing. It's basically-
amazing.
It's like a Vogue dance competition between Sailor Moon and Wonder Woman.
And guess who wins? Sailor Moon.
Better
In my
fucking win.
opinion, Sailor Moon kicks Wonder Woman's ass.
Okay,
And that is
well,
only
I'm
my
gonna-
dream.
I'm going
That
to
is
have to
only my
disagree with
dream.
that.
Oh,
Going to have to respectfully disagree with that. I
Okay.
think Wonder Woman is probably the superior warrior. And probably the superior woman since she's a full-grown woman and she knows what she's doing.
Have you read the Sailor Moon manga?
Sailor Moon has died and like resurrected herself.
I'm
so-
sure.
Many times.
I'm sure
Have
she
you
has.
read the Sailor Moon manga?
I don't-
I mean, you know how many
haven't?
times Wonder
No, you
Woman dies?
haven't.
You
Never,
have
because
the
she's
Sailor Moon manga?
badass.
I've only
You
known
have
this
any of it?
because
Okay,
of friends
but
that
who
are all
has
upset.
died and has resurrected herself many times and is badass? Sailor Moon.
Yeah, but Wonder
Thank
Woman
you.
didn't have to die.
Oh!
Wonder Woman never died in the first place.
Yeah, but that just means she's not Jesus.
I guess
Sailor
you got me
Moon is
there.
Jesus.
I guess you got
Sailor
me
Moon
there.
is Jesus. That's
I
that's
must
what we really
say,
need to learn from this.
in the Parallax series, in like the DC continuity, where Flash and Reverse Flash run back in time and cause all sorts of mayhem,
Yeah.
where Wonder Woman gets real pissed off at Aquaman, and it's like Aquaman versus Wonder Woman, and then like everybody's caught in the crossfire.
Oh, you're talking about
Is this-
Flashpoint?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Flashpoint
Flashpoint,
paradox?
yeah.
Yeah.
Not Parallax, that's Between the Buried and Me, I'm sorry.
Parallax is also the Green Lantern's enemy.
Yeah.
Or one of his enemies.
I feel like that's a fair mistake to make. But yeah, that was pretty sweet. Also, I'm pretty sure Wonder Woman died there. But that's
Pretty sure everybody died but the Flash in that
Yeah,
that
yeah.
alternate universe.
Yeah.
Huh.
Especially
man, and,
Bruce
like-
Wayne.
Oh, he wasn't even born. Oh, wait.
Yeah,
No, he was born.
No,
He-
he
he was
shot.
the one that
Yeah,
was
that's
shot.
right.
he got
at the-
killed and Thomas
yeah.
Wayne became Batman.
And fucking
It's
And
fine.
Martha Wayne
I
became
mean-
Joker. Yeah.
It was a
I
shame
was
she
just
wasn't
like-
in that. It's a shame that they didn't show her in the Flashpoint.
Right?
Yeah.
That was like the one thing where I was just like, dude, that's what I want to see. see is
Yeah.
Martha Wayne is the Joker.
They showed like a second, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'll have a willingly debate with anybody who's actually read the mangas of Sailor Moon. Otherwise, I guess this is a moot point, and my opinion means nothing.
I don't
because
really-
no one really understands the story.
Outside
So it's fine.
of this Vogue battle, I don't really think they're comparable rivals anyway.
Sure.
They don't really have similar powers or attributes. or
Yeah, and I
anything
mean,
like
they
that.
really don't even live in like the same timelines or anything, so
Yeah.
that's fine. But like, I will have a willing debate with anyone who is actually educated in the lore of Sailor Moon.
Brady, you
however-
had something, didn't you?
Yes. You were right, Tom. It is the Kuiper Belt. Not the
Is that what you had to bring to the table? I thought you had something. Okay, I appreciate you.
No,
that
that's
you
a big
confirmed.
deal for me because I've never known how to pronounce it. So I've always just said Cooper because I assumed it was some Dutch form of Cooper. That's Kuiper.
Did I cut you off? Were you going to say something?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Nope.
What else do we got?
I really
Pretty
just
sure
wanna
all
tell-
she got was Sailor
I-
Moon is awesome and everyone.
Pretty much, you guys don't have any ground to stand on when it comes to Sailor Moon.
I like
Okay.
Sailor Moon
And-
How
Crystals.
about this?
I love Sailor Moon Crystal.
I mean,
I
if
wanna
we're
watch
gonna, if
the
I
we're
mean,
gonna-
the
Devil's
series itself is
advocate-
fucking awesome.
Devil's advocate, let's hear it. Okay, so Sailor Moon versus Sailor Moon Crystal. Anybody have any ground to stand on?
Sailor Moon Crystal
Sailor
is just
Moon
the
Crystal
manga.
is better because
Sailor-
it is canon, right?
Sailor Moon
That's what I
Crystal
think.
In my opinion, however, the animation is kind of
Better.
kind of wonky in places.
Does it have that weird CGI in it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
a
got
little
a lot
bit,
of
yeah.
weird
I
CGI.
I
in
kind
it.
of like that CGI.
I do kind of like it as well.
I only seen the first 3 episodes. though.
It's kind of hit and miss.
It is hit and miss, but the
Yeah.
story overall
It's
is more canon.
it's
to,
the Brotherhood version.
Yeah, to the original manga, which is what I love most about it. Now the animation we can like debate on, probably.
I mean,
Well,
what the animation,
but-
what the modern animation versus the 80s or 90s, animation?
90s
90s.
Which
animation.
drives
yeah.
me insane.
I mean, I don't think we could really argue there because even though it has CGI and people hate CGI, the animation, the actual drawn cells are probably better because
Yeah.
it's
New age.
more
People
like
will love it or they'll hate it. You know,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where if you're a real Sailor Moon fan, you're gonna love it or you're gonna just outright.
and
hate
you're
it.
not one of those people that's like, I just like the old stuff. I like the original, but it's not
Right.
the original because it's not the
And
original
that's the thing
story.
is,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I grew up with the original. I grew up with the '90s version. You know, I was a child of the '90s.
But you have
Yeah.
a more mature,
But
nuanced look
you know,
at it now.
as I grew older, I actually read the manga and like understood the storyline better. And you know,
What, Brady? What, you have something to add? I feel like he's sitting on something
He's
to bring
like,
to the table.
he has this very, I really have something to say look going on.
What, Brady?
what?
I
Brady?
don't
So
know.
what's up? What's
When,
up?
like in the 90s, when I was coming home from school, I was like, man, I could watch Sailor Moon. Or I could just wait a fucking half hour and watch Dragon Ball Z. Dragon!
I don't understand why you can't watch both.
I did.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did too.
he just wanted to put a dig in there, but then he's like, I totally watched Sailor
I totally
Moon.
like Sailor Moon when I was kid.
It's fine.
I
I
thought
always liked Tuxedo Mask. Because
I-
he'd show up.
Tuxedo Commencement!
pissed me off so much.
No, okay, here's the
Oh,
thing.
it's just your
In
Sailor
the
Moon,
manga, no,
you
no,
can do
no.
blah blah blah. Let me just throw this
Yeah,
fucking
no,
rose and then fly away.
In the
It's
90s
like-
version, listen, 90s version Tuxedo Mask was totally fucking useless. Okay, but honestly, real manga life, Tuxedo Mask actually had some power. He had some, like, legit fighting experience. He did have some legitimate powers of his own.
In the 90s version, did he have his telepathy thing?
He did have some kind of, like, he could see into the future in a lot of ways, but
He
really
had-
his only power was just to intervene
The,
in situations to just, like, ground Sailor Moon.
he was
Yeah,
like
well,
the,
But
Goku
in
had
the mo-
instant teleportation.
But in the manga version of Sailor Moon, Tuxedo Mask actually did fight quite a bit, and he did have some powers of his own.
With
so
his
he
bed
did have
sheets?
some ground to
Bed sheets,
stand
what?
on. Is what I'm saying.
The Moonlight Knight, man.
The
He,
Moonlight
like,
Knight.
He wore his fucking bed sheets and his
Well-
turban, and he was like, "I'm the Moonlight Knight," and I
Well, that-
I still talk, and then I run away.
That was yeah.
And And I was like, motherfucker, you're
Yeah.
doing the same thing you did as Tuxedo Mask. And I was like, I'm fucking mad.
that was in the '90s version most part, but
Yeah.
yeah, he did make an appearance in the manga, I believe, but in the manga, I feel like he was a stronger character.
I'd definitely be like willing to go back through and like reread the manga.
If I were you, I would, honestly.
I wouldn't
Because
recommend-
it's a stronger story. It really is. It's much more adult. It's a strong story.
I wouldn't recommend
Um,
trying to rewatch the original '90s anime because it's hard now.
It's
It
a
is
lot of
very
filler.
hard, yeah.
It's
One
a
of-
lot of filler.
Unless-
you know, it was geared
unless
towards
you watch
kids.
it in Japanese because they
No.
don't change
Well,
anything.
well, here's the thing. Like
oh,
the Japanese.
you're about to get slammed
the-
down.
No,
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 listen.
no.
The Japanese '90s version is quite good. It is
Yeah.
leagues better than the English dub.
Yeah, English
Okay,
like, fucked
leagues
everything.
better. However, there is still a lot of filler.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
filler is acceptable,
It-
kind of
it-
now.
Kind of,
Kind of.
yeah.
No,
Um,
I completely
But when it
disagree
comes
with
to the
kind
that.
of.
manga, like that is the actual story. It's so adult and
Well-
it's so much more interesting to like actually read the story and follow these characters and delve into like who they really are. And then when you see the '90s version of it, like honestly, if you're gonna watch either of them, I would watch the Japanese version of them
Mhm.
because it's not
Yeah.
gonna cut into any like fucking bullshit.
yeah, because like
I mean, when it comes to the English dub, like let's talk about Sailor Neptune, Sailor Uranus, for example.
Oh my god.
Okay, the English dub made them into cousins. What bullshit is
weren't
that?
they
are-
lesbians?
Oh yeah, they're
Yeah.
they're girlfriends.
Yeah, I
They
was like,
love each
holy
other
shit.
so deeply. They are the most, like to me, that's the most romantic love I can think of out of any anime that I've ever seen. That's the most romantic love that I can think of.
Was
And the English version just fucked it up.
Was
They were
that
like,
your,
oh, cousins. Oh, they're related. No, they're fucking lovers. They love each other.
was that your Tumblr post yesterday with that blog of I forgot which no, it's Sailor Moon. It's Sailor Moon because there was one where one of them like hit on Sailor Moon when she's like, oh, I'm not dating whatever Darian anymore.
Yeah,
blah, blah,
well-
blah. She's
well,
like,
during-
well,
well,
can
during-
I come in now? And I
Yeah,
was
well,
like,
during the
"Oh."
series, Haruka, who is Sailor Uranus, or Uranus, whatever.
Uranus.
She has a hardcore crush on Sailor Moon. I mean,
Mm.
Sailor Moon's beautiful. She's, you know, the princess of like the universe, essentially.
Princess of the Universe.
She really is like the
She's
princess of our
Uranus.
galaxy. Like think about it in that context. But also like the Sailor Starlights, like the leader of the Sailor Stars. She was also in love with Sailor Moon. You know,
Who-
she's just so beautiful.
Who I don't think that
and
other people
and there's
know who
also
the-
been lore about Sailor Venus and Sailor Moon.
Weren't the
you
Sailor
know?
Starlights a bunch of I can't remember.
They were transgendered.
Yeah. I was trying to remember.
They were way before their time. Yes, they were the transgendered sailors.
They weren't in the English version. Oh wait,
No.
they were.
Yeah, they were.
They
but
just
But not
changed it.
really.
Yeah, but they changed it a lot. But in the manga version, they were still like transgendered.
that kind of
sailors.
reminds me of that bullshit like filler arc in Fairy Tail when they come from a different that other dimension and like the people they met in the other dimension change genders for no apparent reason.
Oh,
because
yeah.
they
'Cause there's different
they
dimension.
dimension hop. And it's like that doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make any sense. I know that a lot of people probably don't know a lot about Fairy Tail based on just in the room. Anyone Fairy Tail?
I
Yeah.
Fairy Tail's good.
People who are big One Piece fans don't like Fairy Tail because they say it's kind of a ripoff. I don't really agree.
No, it's not a ripoff. I like Fairy Tail and One Piece.
Yeah, like some of the things I've heard, it's like, oh well, Luffy is a rubber man and they got a guy that changes shapes. No. Makarov just gets bigger. He turns into a giant. He's not a rubber band guy by any means. Like
You know who else changes shapes and grows bigger? Cell from Dragon Ball Z.
for a second, I thought you were gonna be like John Cena.
See, that's how I felt when I dropped the Dragon Ball Z. I was just like, oh, I'm John Cena right now.
Oh my god.
Hey Tom, you know who else changes shapes and gets bigger? It's still Cell.
It's still Cell. It's still Cell.
I mean Boo as well.
Cell. Fucking boo.
I think Boo probably changed as much as Cell did, didn't he?
Night changes more.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it has an extra.
And Frieza.
But
I mean, like,
when you
literally,
count the movie and bullshit,
Everybody changes.
except for Krillin. No,
Oh,
he grows
He grows
hair.
hair at one point.
He grows hair multiple times in the series.
And like fucking Gohan grows into a dumb piece of shit named Saiyaman. I'm
Oh, great,
still upset about
Saiyaman.
that.
Dude, Majin Buu saga is where I gave up.
Yeah, me too.
It's like here comes this like Pillsbury Doughboy enemy. I don't like it.
Yeah.
The only good part about the Majin Buu saga was when Vegeta finally became like an actual character. Like when he sacrificed himself for Trunks and Goten.
Yeah.
He's like, and you
The
save
love
him.
of a father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that's good. That's good writing right there.
Yeah.
And then everything was just like, But,
Well, I mean, it was like you can only be completely hopeless so many times.
mhm.
And like they were completely hopeless against Cell until Gohan was a motherfucking badass. And then, like, guess what? 16 episodes later, he's a dumb piece of shit. Like, doesn't have any powers.
The other thing that bothered me was when they were on Kami's lookout, and there's Piccolo and all the other fucking characters, and they had Super Boo, and he was like trying to fight Gotenks, but they needed to get Goten and Trunks to like do the fusion, and Piccolo was trying to keep Boo calm so he could
I
so
know
they
where
could
this
do the
is going.
fusion.
I know where this is going.
And fucking Bulma and Chi-Chi go over to fucking Boo, and they're like calling him like all these names and talking mad shit. And Boo gets pissed and turns them into cookies and kills them and like eats them. And I was like, good, because Piccolo was keeping the whole situation calm, and they just fucked everything up for no reason. It's like that was the only time I sided with the enemy. Only time. Every time else was like, fuck this guy.
I made Marissa watch Serenity this last week,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and it was really funny because as we started it, she's like, "But wait a minute, I haven't watched Firefly." I'm like, "It's not important. I didn't watch it either the first time I watched this movie. They make it to where they
Yeah.
don't need to." And she's like, instantly has bias against it and is like, "I'm not. I don't feel like I care about any of these characters."
Well, it really didn't, because like it was immediately like, okay, I'm delving into these characters, and yeah, they kind of briefly introduced them.
I mean, the
each
way they did it
character-
is it still is kind of in medias res.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and it was fine and everything, but really, I didn't really get into the movie until towards the end, honestly.
Is he dead? Is he really dead?
I was really
that's a
sad
quote.
about that.
That's a
but-
quote. She turns to me. Is he dead? Is he really dead? No. Is he really dead? And I'm like, what the?
No, but seriously, the beginning of the movie, I was just like, you know, maybe if I watch Firefly, then I would be more invested in these characters. I really don't know much about their backstories. I really don't know very much about them, other than the brief intro that they gave me.
I kind of had that same thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
I had that same.
Did you watch the movie before you watched the
Yeah.
series? I don't know. I just didn't have that, and
It didn't take long for me to just completely turn that off, but it did like when I first started watching.
I
the same
was
issue.
disappointed at Marissa's reaction during the whole scene when River's like, "No, it's my time to protect you," and she runs out, jumps through the door, and throws the medical bag back in there and hits the door shut.
I was really into that scene.
I mean, I didn't
actually.
see you have that reaction like, "No, is she getting raped right now?"
Yeah, no, I was legitimately.
It was
like,
internal.
worried.
It was
I
all
was,
internal.
I was legitimately
But
worried.
that is
yes,
probably
but-
one of my favorite scene transitions in a movie is when the agent is watching that recording, and it seems like when it cuts back to like that Reaver who's like, that's we're going to be a part of like this weird like her talking over it because of the way the sound works, and then you just see this fist and just punch it. It's a big, oh my god, it's the best scene ever. I'm not giving too much away for Brady's sake because I know he hasn't seen it.
I probably just need to break down and watch that this weekend.
You're probably not going to remember that anyway.
Dude,
Yeah, probably
honestly,
not.
it is good. At the
It's
beginning,
worth it.
I was like, you
What's it
know,
called?
I'm not
Sincerity?
really. Yeah.
Serenity. Serenity is the name of the movie.
Sincerity.
Oh my God, Brady.
And I mean the agent.
Fucking troll.
So much nerd hate for that.
I think, and also it probably one of the reasons I really love that movie is because of the whole chaotic good versus lawful evil aspect.
Oh, chaotic good is such a good. Those actually both are really good alignments.
Like, especially to go against each other,
Yeah.
because that's what the agent is he's lawful good. And I've told you about that one part, Brady. I've told you about when he's like, Mal's like, I don't kill children, and the agent's like, I do, and it's like, holy shit!
Yeah.
They were meant to fight. Like it was meant to be. Good shit. Anyway, Brady's looking at me. Brady's looking at me like I'm like kind of like, you're building this movie up too much.
It is very good though. I mean, honestly, like I kind of wanted to hate it in the beginning. I really did because I just really did.
She just wants to tell me that the stuff I like is bad.
No, that's not it.
She won't watch
No.
Doctor Who. She won't watch it.
What
I have
the
seen
fuck?
it. No, I have seen it. I've seen episodes, and it's fine.
It's
just
fine.
not
Which
really
episodes have
interesting.
you seen?
That's fine.
Yeah, what happened?
What have you seen?
Oh God.
Have you
Well-
watched Blink? Because if you watch Blink,
Oh,
you're
man.
not going to
Blink-
not
I've
watch.
seen,
Yeah,
like,
Blink is
3
a
episodes,
Blink is a
man.
standalone
Like, you
episode, not
can't-
important to the arc. So, but it's great. It's a great.
So
You guys-
that's literally what got me into.
It's so
Doctor
funny
Who in the
because
first
Blink
place.
doesn't have the Doctor in it barely at all.
Yeah, I know, but it's like I used to watch it when it was on PBS when I was like 10.
PBS, or like the original
like
series.
when they showed the Fourth Doctor.
Yeah,
Tom Baker.
I got into Doctor Who when it came on to Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah,
That's how tongue tie
a
right
little
there.
bit. Yeah.
And I was just like, I love this. I love this. This is an awesome show just because it's like, oh, it's kind of dark, it's kind of funny, it's like dealing with stuff. What?
I like completely missed it when it first came back. It was listening to the Nerdist podcast actually, where he was like, "Go watch Blink," and then like, "Fine, fuck it, I'll watch Blink," and then just instantly hooked from
Some
there.
of the things I've started people
Shit,
on
is
with.
that the one with the like the crazy dudes who like delete your memory?
No, that's
no.
that. But that is those are my favorite enemies in
Yeah.
Doctor Who. What are those called? The Silence.
The
Silence. Like, oh man, those are good enemies. It's a shame
Isn't
that.
that something similar to Fringe?
What,
This
Doctor
guy?
Who? Or I don't think that happens in. No. You're thinking of the Watchers.
Yeah.
Now Fringe though is
Who
great.
watches the Watcher?
Fringe is really good.
Like all of the little man, whoever wrote Fringe. That's oh my god, it's so fucking
I
good.
still can't fucking believe that the dude from Dawson's Creek was on it. That is so
Which
crazy.
dude?
Peter, whoever plays Peter.
Yeah, Pacey.
Oh yeah,
Pacey,
yeah,
yeah.
Pacey. Yeah,
Yeah,
Pacey.
Now
it's so fucking weird.
Oh,
Right?
Pacey, what a bitch.
You recently rewatched X-Files twice, right, Brady?
I'm actually in the process. Jessica and
I recommend fresh off X-Files going to Fringe. Cause
That's what I did last time.
Yeah.
wait,
I
how
didn't-
far did you get into Fringe?
Oh, like midway through the first season. Or no, Leonard Nimoy showed up, so I think.
So
it was
that's
at
like,
the end.
oh well, actually he shows up a few times, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But man, that at the end of that, you
Fucking
feel.
rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy.
Thank God you.
R.I.P..
Thank
R.I.P..
Thank God he was in Fringe. He made that series better.
Your Gary's coming out of you.
It was
I
already
know.
great. It was already great, and then
Yeah.
he shows up, and you're like, like I feel like people didn't. I don't know if he personally didn't try to be in other things, but he could have been. He could have made other so many more things that were great, and
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
being in Fringe was a credit to that series.
I think that he and Shatner realized that just a little bit too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole "I'm not Spock" thing that
Yeah.
he went through.
Well, and all these other actors are not
Yeah.
repeating that mistake,
Yeah.
which I'm glad to see.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, if an actor is typecast,
Mm-hmm.
they're not as hesitant to understand their typecast, and that's how they're gonna make their money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like Sherlock or like Sherlock.
What do you mean? You mean are you talking about the main the Sherlock series? That guy's
Like,
not really typecast,
Benedict-
is he?
No, Benedict Cumberbatch isn't typecast.
Yeah, he's like a
pretty.
he. The other things he's known for are like prolific movies, kind
Like,
of.
the
I'm
only
like,
thing
have you guys
that's
ever seen
kind of
Tinker Tailor
typecast
Soldier
at all, really, is the Star Trek sequel. The kind of, like, him playing Khan. Spoiler.
He's always
Was
cast as,
kind of,
really
like-
intelligent.
Yeah, it was kind of
Yeah.
Sherlockian a little bit, but
I feel like he was in a war movie, right? Like
yeah.
not the Code one, but like I feel like he was like an officer in something.
Yeah. I don't.
Oh yeah.
You know what? British cinema is not exactly one of my fortes, but whenever I get something, I usually
He was
like
in
it.
a really, really good movie that I really would like to watch again sometime. It's called Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Oh, that, yeah. That
And
would
it's
be
got
fucking
him
awesome.
and Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman is my favorite actor. Like, oh my god. But
I mean, if you can make it in Harry Potter and the Dark Knight movies,
yeah,
I think he's one of the most versatile actors
Yeah.
there is.
Yeah,
and play
Oh.
a midget and Tiptoes.
and he was also the bad guy in The Fifth Element.
Oh, yeah.
Insanity, that
Yeah,
guy.
like Gary Oldman is the fucking man. Like Gary Oldman is a total boss. Doesn't get enough credit, I don't think. But yeah, him and Gary Oldman were in that movie, and it's like a British spy thriller. That is a
Yeah,
movie
it's
to
really,
watch.
it's really good.
Yeah.
The other movie we watched was The Giver.
Mhm.
Who I didn't
Like,
Wait,
is it
wait,
based on the
wait.
book?
Seen
Yeah.
that movie.
The Lost
Giver.
I
Book?
did
Have
not.
you guys read the book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Guy in
was
the
not.
bedroom.
That was
Um,
not reading
The
at
book
my high
changed
school.
my life in middle school.
Yeah.
It really did.
That was-
like me and John can relate on that. Like
I
it
think
really
that was
did
one of
change my
the
life.
3 books I actually read
Yeah.
when that was assigned. It was that
Yeah.
and The Outsiders and something else.
Yeah,
I
The
don't
Giver
remember.
and The Outsiders. Those 2 books changed
Yeah.
my fucking life in middle school. It really did.
They didn't even make me read Animal Farm.
I didn't.
What the fuck?
I didn't read Animal Farm until in high school when it was like a
I did
group-
read 1984.
when it's like a group reads
like
a
that.
random book kind of thing and then
Mhm.
presents it.
Yeah.
But that's because we picked Animal Farm.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
But The Giver, the movie was quite good in my opinion. I mean, obviously, a lot of details out.
how was Taylor
I mean,
Swift?
She
okay.
didn't know. We didn't know.
At first, we didn't know that she was in there, and we were like, okay,
What?
okay.
Yeah, Taylor
and
Swift
then,
is in it. I
Yeah,
just
Taylor
I saw
Swift
a
is
random
in
like
it.
movie
Very-
poster with
I
her
mean,
name on
she-
it, and I'm like, wait,
She-
what?
Yeah, very briefly. I had no idea that
She
she was
plays
in
a
it.
she
but,
plays
I mean,
a
she
dead
did-
character.
Yeah, I mean, but she
So,
did. I mean, it was,
Right up her alley. So,
Yeah, I mean, you know,
In
it's
The
fine.
Giver?
Talking
Yeah.
shit about Taylor Swift.
Wait, that's the one where it's
She's
black
kind
and
of
white, right?
dead-eyed. I mean,
Yeah.
Like half
Well,
of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a problem with Taylor
Yeah.
Swift, but she's kind
is-
of dead-eyed.
Taylor Swift is the person the receiver before our main character,
Oh,
and like you only see her via hologram and like drawings and
I
stuff.
have to read
Who is
that
the
book.
Giver's
I
daughter?
don't remember anything about it.
What? Huh. So I
Yeah.
watched that movie.
I mean, there's
I didn't
only,
even-
like,
I
yeah,
didn't
I'm
even
at the point
notice
where I
it.
barely
Yeah.
remember the
It's
book
very
anymore.
like you
Yeah.
would really have to pay attention to be like, oh my god, that's Taylor Swift.
Yeah, there's only like a
I'm
few
like, wait
face
a minute,
shots of
she
her.
looks so much like Taylor Swift. And then there was one scene where I was like, oh my god, that is Taylor Swift. Otherwise, like, I would have never known if I wasn't really paying attention to like the facial structure of her. But
What's weird is that what we noticed is it's like, wait, when did this come out? And wait, it's kind of like all these other movies, but it's a little bit more
it's so much
sophisticated.
more cerebral.
It's a more it's a more cerebral, sophisticated movie, and it's not as popular as what are those types of movies called where it's not utopian, it's
Dystopian?
it's a
Dystopian.
dystopian future, like
Yeah.
dystopian future, weird outside young character gets thrown into the situation, stuff happens, only it's different.
And they
because
become
that's
a lot
exactly
more
the plot.
liberal-minded, and they're like, "Oh my God, I can think for myself for once, and let's think about the possibilities."
They're
yeah.
like, what's all this
that's-
Ayn Rand bullshit? Fuck Ayn
yeah,
Rand.
yeah. I mean, that's the whole idea of The Giver. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
I
Mr. Peter.
really, I highly
I
encourage.
saw a status the other day he posted about
I
Ayn Rand.
highly encourage anyone who has never read The Giver to read that book.
I was just looking.
I'm
for-
not a big reader myself, but honestly, that book changed my life as a young
It's-
child. It really did. It was good.
Good. It's
It did.
one of 3 books in middle school that I actually read, and Like, I am a reader, but if someone tells me to read something, I'm probably not going to.
Yeah, but no, this
But
is
it's
one
one
of
of
those.
3 books that I actually was able to get through.
Another book that I had to read in middle school called Gathering Blue is apparently from the same series as The Giver.
Oh yeah, because it did end up being like a series, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only read The Giver. I didn't read the sequels.
Yeah, I've
to
only
it,
read The
but-
I
Giver.
back in my room and I'm like, maybe I should reread those.
Did
Yeah.
anybody read anything from the Shadow Children series? Quotation marks on that. I think
Sounds
that's what
really
it's called.
familiar.
Like basically, it was like after some kind of like famine, and the famine is still going on, but apparently it's not. The government's covering it up, and every third child of a family has to be like killed if they have one, and it's illegal. And so there's kind of like these orphans, but they're not really orphans. They're third children.
Sounds really familiar.
Yeah.
Oh, who wrote that? She spoke at my high school or at South.
Yeah, I mean it's not like
I
a
can't remember her
crazy crazy popular series I
pretty
don't think,
cool.
but
Yeah,
that was
no,
some.
but I remember.
I remember reading the last book in the series and being like, man, this book just makes me hungry.
Meg Cabot, I think, wrote that. Also, that's really fucking weird.
What are you talking about? It was all about how they didn't have enough food to eat. So every time they talked about food, it was as if they were hungry. And every time I was reading it in class, I'm like, I am so fucking hungry right now.
Oh my god.
Oh, I thought it was because of the dead children.
God.
What?
Alright.
Not
It's
talking about.
because
I
of
mean,
the dead children.
Dead children do make me hungry, but
Children.
Some dead children.
nothing better than
Where
a
you guys
child steak.
Child steak.
So, did anybody else watch Divergent? The opera?
Yeah, I was about to mention
How do you
that.
feel about that movie?
I questioned it.
I keep feeling like, oh, this is a little bit better than Hunger Games. And then I'm like, this is like just like the Hunger Games, only without a game.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I questioned a lot. And then the ending made me just like,
What, the fact that you're just like, oh, there's gonna be another movie.
yeah.
Insurgent. Divergent and Insurgent. What the fuck is the third movie gonna be called? What?
Anyone into Ender's Game?
Convergent.
Get the fuck out of her.
Yes, this game.
Ender's Game?
Changed
Anybody?
my
I haven't seen the movie.
I did
but
feel bad
The
that I
movie's
paid money
very
to go
good.
see
I haven't seen it
Ender's
yet.
Game.
That was a bad movie.
I
No, I just after I found out more about, I knew going in that the author is like a
Yeah.
racist eugenic guy who
that
yeah.
sucks. That sucks. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
movie is
For which-
really good.
for which
the movie
movie?
is
Ender's
seriously
Game.
so
Never
good.
seen it.
Yeah, the author's kind of a douche.
That
Yeah.
Yeah,
sucks.
Orson Scott Card is a piece of shit.
yeah
But he
um,
writes some damn fine science.
the
fiction.
Idea
Yeah.
Channel actually did a video on that whole thing, like that whole conflict of like, is going to see Ender's Game actually like feeding into this his agenda, which I think there might have been like theories that like if you paid money to go see it that there's gonna be kickbacks.
I mean, for
There's-
me, listen, for
there-
me,
there's-
not
yeah.
knowing any of that previously, like
I mean it
me
wasn't.
going in to see that movie, like it was a very good movie.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
loved it.
I mean it was
good.
it was
I'm
it was
like
more
for
about if you
sequels,
knew
like-
if you had pre-knowledge about this
My-
and you had to think about
My
what you were
point of it is like there's so many people that worked on that movie that could use the money
Yeah,
that
yeah,
have
yeah.
nothing to do with.
Yeah, I mean,
the
I
thing
won't
in the
shop.
business?
I mean, I won't buy from Chick-fil-A anymore.
Yeah.
If that
why?
gives you. What do you mean why?
Oh, yeah. Never mind. I forgot the whole thing.
I totally am on Chick-fil-A's payroll.
I mean, that's not really the same thing, is it?
I totally forgot their whole thing. I haven't
Yeah.
even
No.
gone there in a while though.
'Cause-
And plus, you get to like eat their food for free, which is, cutting into their profit margin. So hey,
I mean,
you're really
Hey, free food, go for it.
Capitalism forced me to work for Chick-fil-A in a way.
I mean,
So
it's understandable.
goddamn.
For a while,
Iran.
I was a vegetarian and refused to eat anything meat, but worked at White Castle for 9 years. So
Speaking of free food, do you have any of that free food right now, Brady?
no.
He hasn't worked for them in a long time, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you
Saturday-
work. You're still technically on their payroll, but you haven't.
Yeah, I'll start working for them again during the basketball season, really. I want to work 2 football games this year.
Hmm.
And then I'll start working during the basketball season.
And it's gonna cut into recording time, and
I'm not going to work as many games as I did last year, really.
especially since IU football sucks.
Oh.
I'm only working 2 IU football games. Fuck that shit. Basketball is like 2
I
hours.
feel like I'm supposed to say oh too.
I don't know.
Well, Well,
I
we
know
like
nothing about the sports ball.
we got to unify our O's.
Yeah,
Me and sports ball, we just don't get along.
That comic about
We sportsed harder than the other team.
the other team
We
just
scored
sports-
all of the points.
Well, we tried to get that sports ball across the sports line, and the other team just sports harder than us, you know. We could have probably sported a little bit better here and sported a little bit better there, but at the end of the day, you know.
I'd
They
like
just-
to thank
they-
God for sporting as hard as I could.
Thank you. My pleasure. Brady. Brady knows about that one. Anyway.
Brady, what do you think about that new Metal Gear that came out yesterday? Was it yesterday?
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
I've only played that one that came out for not 360, for the original
What?
Xbox. Which one is that? It's the one where Raiden first shows up.
Oh, the forgot what Revengeance.
Gross.
That
Holy
is
shit.
That's 360.
360.
I'm
Oh,
pretty
okay.
sure.
It's
This
too
is
cute. Stop it.
Shut up.
This is like the one I'm talking about is much. It's definitely in that same vein of Metal Gear Solid, where they actually do they hide, they sneak around. Like when I say the first time Raiden shows up, I mean he doesn't have a face mask on,
Oh, okay.
and like you meet Otacon's like sister that he has like a crush on or something. They're in love, and it gets weird.
The last one I
It
played
gets
was on
weird.
Nintendo, so I don't.
It gets weird, yeah. But yeah, like the end of that, I was like, holy shit! And, you know, like, I was like in 8th grade playing it. Like not like the climax at the end, but like the philosophy they threw out there with the genes and being that's more than the sum of your parts and things like that. And I was like, oh man, like it was like a voice narration from Snake, and I was like, that's good shit. What? Are you still stuck on the fact that Otacon has a crush on his sister?
No, me and John are like, I don't know what the
Like,
fuck you're
the-
talking about because we're so much older.
The
than
last
You've
Metal
never
Gear game I
Metal Gear?
played was on original Nintendo, so
you. Yeah,
You're
so
2 years older than me. You're not so much older than me.
So much older.
that's a
What?
It really
Big
is.
gap.
It really is a
There's a
pretty
bigger
big gap.
there's a bigger age gap between me
No,
and
see,
Biafra than there is me
it's
and
not
you.
the age gap itself. It's the time frame of the age gap. There was just a lot of stuff that happened in
Yeah.
between
Like
that couple
what?
years.
Like,
It was a whole cultural shift.
did a war happen? No.
I mean,
No,
there-
but it went from
It
literally
was
like
Bosnia-
It was a
Bosnia happened.
technologically cultural difference.
I guess
Yeah.
It was.
yeah.
It really was.
I actually don't know when Bosnia
it's,
happened. So.
It's hard to think about because like we're all so close in age, but at the same time, like those differences are pretty large differences in technology. So, you know.
Yeah, when I was in 8th grade, you were in 10th. So you're already in high school, probably not even like worrying about video games anymore.
No, that wasn't my life. No, I was probably just in a different setting than you.
Yeah, and plus I lived in the fucking country, out in the middle of nowhere. There wasn't anything
Yeah.
to do but play
Yeah.
video games and jump on the
and
trampoline.
me and John,
What
we
year
were,
was that?
we're from the streets.
How old
Yeah.
was... Okay, when I was in 8th grade, what year was it? Let's see, when I was in 5th grade, it was 2099. So it was like, what, 2002?
Wait
you
a
say
minute.
2099?
Wait a minute.
No.
I think
that's-
you meant 99
I
slash
heard
2000.
That was like-
2099.
In a war,
He may have
we're
said it
talking-
backwards, but it
In
makes
the
perfect sense.
world.
I'm glad that John
It
understood.
makes perfect
it was
sense.
fucking 1999 to 2000 is what I fucking meant.
It makes perfect sense. Stop
And-
being dick.
So when I was in 8th grade, it was like 2002 to
In a
2003.
world.
2099.
Tom kicks ass for 100 straight years.
What did I do for 100 straight years?
Kick ass. He decides to go back in time to kick ass for another 100 years.
He's not entertained. You guys should see this.
I mean, I'm
This
entertained.
year,
I'm
Tom
entertained by
Lamar
Brady.
Ah.
Yes.
Kicks ass in 5th grade.
Oh my god, it'd be so funny to go back in time as my 26-year-old self and just start kicking kids in the head. Be like, hey, guess what, fucker? Just flip them off. Just kick.
Oh my god.
Kids are the fucking worst.
God,
God.
kids, they're just so bad.
I hate when their parents are like, oh, they're
Oh,
a
really?
kid, they don't know what they're doing. Yes, they do. They totally know what they're doing. They're manipulating it.
They watched you.
I've been there.
They learned it by watching you, okay?
That's where I learned to curse. My mother.
I just picked up cursing because I was showed rated R movies when I was like in first grade and heard all of the curses and just didn't really sink in until I was older. And it didn't sink in. I just started doing it because, fuck, it feels good.
Similar. I didn't start actually like cursing until middle of high school, really.
My favorite cartoon as a child was Ren and Stimpy.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I
Dun, dun,
don't really like
dun.
Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, I didn't like it. The animation.
See, you guys were just too young. That's all it is.
It's gross. It's gross animation. I mean, I don't like it really now as much.
The animation was just as good.
What?
I really think that's part of just
But
like we were the
how?
right age when it came out.
Yeah, like it was
And
just
you were
so
indoctrinated
funny
to
when I
like
was
it.
a child, and my mom hated it, but my
Yeah.
dad would always, he would be like, no, okay, when your mom leaves, I'm going to record it for you, and he would record it on VHS, and he would play it for us, you know, when my mom would leave the
I
house,
had,
he'd
like,
put it in the VHS player.
People not doing
Man,
it.
I'd be updated
Yeah.
on the latest episode.
My
It was
uncle
great.
would always do that for me because he
Yeah.
was only like 6 years older than me.
Man.
I just didn't like the way it was
Seriously.
just drawn.
The only thing I
Just
really
like-
liked
I
was the
just
log
loved
song.
it.
It's like what was that show? Cow and Chicken.
Yeah.
It's just
Log
like, it's just
rolls
like,
downstairs, was over in chairs, was over your neighbor's dog. It's great as a snack, it fits on your back. It's log, log, log. It's log, log. It's big, it's heavy, it's wood.
We're gonna get copyright notice. Stop. I would
I
be.
still prefer the cow and chicken theme song.
How did that go?
It was like
Mom
Mama
was
had a
chicken,
chicken, Mama had a cow, Dad
Dad
was
was
happy,
proud.
didn't care how.
My favorite
like that.
character on that though was Weasel. I Am Weasel was
Yeah.
the best character out of that show.
I remember one time when I was in 6th grade, and I quoted the devil guy, cause
Wasn't he just called Red Guy?
yeah,
Yeah,
and like he would always say like, close your pie holes, and like everyone in class was yelling, and I was like, everyone close your pie holes, and everyone's like, oh, I'm telling you said a bad word. I was like, I was telling you guys to be quiet, because I guess pie hole was a bad word, and I didn't
They
fucking
don't
know.
No, Pile is
Pie hole's a bad word?
Apparently it was a bad word in 6th grade.
Dropping those bombs. Dropping those pie hole bombs.
Oh my god.
I feel like I'm at a rave.
What?
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, 6th grade. Pie holes.
Him though. Him from Powerpuff Girls.
Oh my
Dude.
god.
Oh my god. Like, the episodes where, like,
That-
him would take over and, like, turn the world into, like, a fucking deathland.
I didn't like that so much. Where it's
My
like,
favorite.
Love
You know who's
it.
evil? Gay guys. Because that's all that him was.
What? Oh,
Don't
I guess.
agree, though.
I
Like,
guess that
literally,
was-
he's the only person there who's like very flamboyantly gay, and he's
I guess
evil for
that's
it.
what they were trying to portray.
Maybe I don't know, but I do feel like
Dude, Miss Keane was banging.
as far as like
Oh man.
as far as like villains
Dexter's
go.
mom. Dexter's
Yeah. Oh, remember
Dexter's
Tumblr,
mom
that
has
Tumblr,
got it
that,
going on.
that Tumblr post about
Yeah.
Dexter's mom was like, "Damn, Dexter's mom's thick as fuck." But my favorite hymn line is when they're trying to give gifts to, like, the villains are giving gifts to the Powerpuff Girls to ruin their birthday, and him gives them candy, and he's like, oh, with gifts it's the thought that counts, and clearly thinking isn't your strong point. Like, I was like, that's the best fucking line ever.
God, him is such a good villain. Like, way better villain than Mojo Jojo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jojo.
Like, I enjoyed Mojo Jojo because, like, he was almost an anti-villain sometimes.
Yeah, it seems like he could cross that line.
Yeah,
of being a
he
good
jumped
guy.
back and forth between good and
How do you guys
good and
feel
bad.
about the new Powerpuff Girls? that's
I
coming out?
haven't seen.
Wait,
it's
there's a
been
new
out-
Powerpuff
I
Girls?
think they made a movie instead of a show, right?
No, they're going to be
No,
coming
it's
out with a new
yeah,
series.
New series. It's been
And
in the
what?
the
works.
animation is new, and I have
I
seen
don't like it.
a little bit of a
You've
preview
seen
of
it? Some of
and
it already?
No, I haven't seen an episode, but I've seen a little bit of like what the new cartoon is supposed to look like, and I fucking hate it.
You know, that's my.
Wow.
You know what?
Fucking
You know
awful.
what? I'm gonna call you out right now because you're the one who likes Teen Titans Go.
Oh!
You don't like the original.
Just think about this about Teen Titans Go.
What about it?
If you imagine that Teen Titans Go is just Beast Boy's imagination, it fucking works. It works.
I guess.
Because
Why would
If
I
you-
want to see that instead of the Teen Titans?
I'm not saying you want to see it instead. I'm just saying it works if you're like, okay, Beast Boy's creating his own fucking comic series, and this is what it is. It works.
That's a leap of imagination that I'm not willing to take, cause
I'm not saying. I'm just saying, if you're ever stuck watching it, it works better that way.
I was stuck watching it for an hour, and fucking Cyborg was like, I'm gonna be a grandma for a fucking full episode, and I was pissed.
Yeah. But if you imagine that, because Beast Boy is fucking crazy and is a child basically, if you imagine that it's his imagination of being like, if I were to make a cartoon, I would make Cyborg be a grandma. It kind of works a little bit. So where's the John Cena?
There isn't a John Cena.
Well, there should be.
there should be.
the thing that Tumblr post is the thing that sticks in my head about, like, it's like Starfire walking in on Cyborg with those rings on that make him look like he's all human again.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Nothing." And then like the person's just like, "Man, I remember when Teen Titans was about something."
I miss all Teen Titans.
Yeah.
I wish they
I did
finished
stumble
it.
across some
Wish they
one
finished
weird Teen
You know what?
Titans Go.
I feel like if they had finished it, I would be more accepting of Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
If they had fucking finished it, let's
Yeah.
get the whole original cast back together and then not do what
Anything.
made everybody like it in the first place.
That's true. I see your point.
Felt like it was more appropriate than.
I'll concede to your point. It is much worse.
Oh my god!